butt fucking a football. Notice the rain and the cigarette. That's amazing. He can smoke in the rain. There's nothing like smoking a wet cigarette in the rain. That I gotta tell you. Butt fucking a football. They should have their tools taken away from them for the way they have that job set up, by the way. They should be spanked in public. I built decks for 25 years, and I have never seen anybody set up a job to refurbish an overhang on a deck like that in my entire life. Plus, they had brackets. Those gray brackets on the deck there that I'm going to zoom in on right now. There were brackets underneath the deck, if you'll notice, on a 45-degree angle that held the deck up. But they decided to modify the brackets to not have the 45-degree bracket on the bottom to that would hold up any amount of weight. So what they're doing is they're lag bolting, not bolting through the concrete, but lag bolting those brackets onto that bulkhead. Lag bolting the brackets onto the bulkhead, not bolting it through bolting, lag bolting, from what I can see. Unbelievable. Those guys should have their tools taken away from them. Watch the way they handle this piece of steel. Instead of setting up an A-frame on top of the deck itself, instead of setting up an A-frame on the top of the deck itself, he is manhandling a 60 or 70 pound piece of steel from underneath it, where if it collapses or falls on his head, or he sneezes and it slips out of his hand, that 70 pound piece of steel will fall directly on his head or his chest. Either way, they should have their tools taken away from them for working like savages in the rain. I wonder if he still has his cigarette in his mouth. He is actually trying to manhandle a piece of steel upwards. Instead of setting an A-frame up on the top of the dock and just simply putting a single piece of line to the top of the A-frame, a little teeny A-frame, 4 foot high, and a line to the top of the A-frame. He's trying to manhandle and then strap that beam to the deck, which gives him absolutely no leeway whatsoever. The strap would have to be taut, extremely taut. But if you put an A-frame up there, you could use leverage and then down cleat it to the dock. But these guys don't know what they're doing. This is amazing. I find this amazing. I find it amusing. I have watched this guy do this work too for almost 5 years. I've watched him do this kind of work, doing repairs, but I never had the opportunity to photograph him. This is unbelievable. This is amazing. Aside from the fact that they don't have any idea what the hell they're doing. They are doing it in a completely, unbelievably dangerous methodology. Look at the strap he is setting up to try to pull this 60 or 70 pound piece of steel over his head in the rain. Now they're working now, which makes everything slippery because the steel is painted. Which makes everything slippery. So now I'm going to back it off a little bit. The guys, I can't believe it. I was 17 years old and I was rebuilding decks better than that. And I forgot to tell you, the last time they worked on this deck, when they removed the original bracket, for whatever reason, they were both wearing flip-flops. Swear to God. Flip-flops. Doing marine construction with oxyacetylene torches and pressure-treated deck, which gives you a splinter and then gets festered up. They were working in flip-flops. Now I'm going to zoom back in on that because that's funny to look. It's almost as if they're doing everything that they do for the exact first time, and yet this is what this fella professes to do for a living. He doesn't even know how to set up an A-frame. Let me show you what he's got, how he's got the deck supported. I'm going to back this off. If you notice by that other man's feet there, there's a piece of wood up on a 35 or 40 degree angle. And he has that strapped down to the deck with a rope. And that's how he's lifting the front edge of the deck up. Instead of simply putting a plate on the mud sill, like a mud sill, with a screw jack that would pick the deck up 4 feet if you wanted it up 4 feet, so you could set the bracket, then set the deck back down on top of the bracket. Well, not 4 feet, but certainly 18 inches. A house screw jack, so to speak. This is unbelievable. I can't believe he's going to try to pick that up over his head. He'll get it done. Because he's as stupid as he is stubborn. Or stubborn as he is stupid. But it just doesn't make any sense to go this route. Who in their right mind that builds decks would do this like this? Well, he doesn't build decks, so he just says he builds decks. I've watched, oh, I could show you, no, I can't show it to you. He puts the deck crown up, crown down, crown down, crown down, crown up, crown down, crown up, crown up, crown down. They just throw the decking down on the deck, and if it lands crown up, they nail it crown up. If they throw it nails crown down, they nail it crown down. If he has the king crown on a 2x8 joist and the king crown is down, he puts it into the Tico with the king crown down. If he has the king crown up, it goes up. So when he puts the deck together, the deck has a whip in it right from the get-go. And sometimes if you look underneath the deck, the spacing between the crown, the king crown, and the deck, sometimes it's 1/4 of an inch that the deck boards don't even touch the joist boards. That's no joke. I've watched him do that too. And now he's getting ready to strap this piece of lumber up. Instead of just putting an A-frame up on top, and just, you could make a 6-foot A-frame out of 3 2x4s in about 5 minutes and put a come-along to the center of the A-frame and snatch it upwards and pull it up against the deck with any amount of leverage that you want. Instead, he's got a strap to a joist with absolutely no way to apply pressure, vertical, upwards, skywards pressure to the beam. except that he's underneath it pushing it up, and then the other fella has to tie it off, and then the nylon strap, because it's raining, will stretch and they'll have to redo it. This is amazing. This is like two monkeys fucking a football. God knows what he's doing now. Maybe the camera does, but I can't see. The best thing was him smoking the cigarette in the rain. You gotta like smoking a cigarette in the rain, especially the way the water makes the tobacco taste. He's snatching it from the top. What the hell is he doing? What's he doing? He's snatching it from the... Oh, I see. The guy's going to pull it through the deck. He's going to pick it up with his hands. He's not going to snatch it to the joist. I see what they're doing now. That's even worse. The man is going to be responsible for holding it up. He's about 65 years old and about 90 pounds. Oh, I can't wait to see this happen. I am looking so forward to watching this beam go up. Had he done it with the A-frame, since the beginning of this video, he could have built the A-frame, put the come-along on, and come-alonged it up to the deck since the beginning.